Sorry, caught me distracted looking off somewhere else. Hi, you guys. Still working on those multiple um devices at the same time. Hi, happy Tuesday. Ivy, you are so cute. Queen of casting in the Queen City. Yes, excited to go to Charlotte. I leave tomorrow. Hi, Monty. Hi. Carolina Jane is anticipating great things this weekend. Yay. Yes. Really excited. Oh, love my glasses. I don't often wear them actually. So tonight, because I was going to attempt to, look at multiple um, devices, I thought I would try, but I don't know how capable I am of doing all that. So, Holloway Nation. Hi, John. I love that. South Orange County. Hi, Mia. Excited to connect with you as well. Hi, Bianca and Jackson, Tennessee. Renee, love it. I'm gonna get a question right in off the bat here. Okay, great. Was interested in submitting for a film. Location is Romania, right? Guess who the casting director is? I can't imagine who it is. So they're looking for actors in Romania because the listing was in the Chicago market. Yes, so that it is shooting in Romania, but there's several American roles. And so to ensure that we don't, to ensure that we have choices that can do and play straight American, I'm looking here for those roles, and they do have a travel budget to be able to travel some of those actors on some of those roles. So, yeah, our concern was that casting out of Romania, I wasn't sure that we would be able to find as many actors who fit what we needed and who also play straight American with no European accents, because that's what's needed for a couple of the characters. So, yes, if for me, I'll speak for me, if I list it in a certain market, even though it's shooting somewhere else, that's because there is potentially travel budget in the production budget to take care of that for the right person. So, yes, hopefully that answers that. Hey, Adam, Stephanie, the conference, the big creative exchange is this weekend, this Friday and Saturday, actually. Super excited about that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Good group, like amazing group of people to learn from. I'm going to learn from an amazing group of people to just spend time with and be encouraged by. One of the big things about doing this is also the fellowship of being with each other and spending the time together and just being encouraged and being a part. We talk a lot about community and the importance of community, and talk a lot about building that and wanting to be a source of community for sure. And that's one of the big things I'm looking forward to, actually, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, is just being able to hang with you guys and talk with you a little bit more specifically, and just get to know you. And also, we all just need that time to realize we're not alone. We're not alone in this journey. We're not alone as far as being people of faith in the industry. And just learn from each other and be encouraged by each other, and just that sense of like, we're in this together, working on this together. So yeah, I'm really excited about that part of it too. So it's going to be a great group of people, not not only those of us who are going to be like teaching or leading, although that is an amazing group of people, but all of you guys attending. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to meet you. Some of you I know, so I cannot wait to see you again. And I'm just excited to see you work and to talk with you, and to just get to know you more. So super excited about that. And remember, this is just the first of what we hope will be many. events like this. And, sometimes they may be a 1-day event. They may be 2 days. Who knows? Maybe Zoom, but we will try to continue to do these kinds of things. I know that's part of Diego's focus with Anthem Collective, Diego and his wife Jazz, who is one of our unsung heroes behind the scenes, building this event and taking care of everything. The two of you, Diego and Jazz, are a dynamic duo. They're awesome. If you guys ever get to meet Jazz at an event, or those of you who are coming this weekend, it will be a joy for you to meet her because she's awesome. So, okay. Okay, so my background has gotten to be gorgeous. It's interesting. Thank you, by the way. It's interesting because at first I was like, I don't know what to put back there. And then I went through some boxes and some things, mementos from films and projects, and realized, oh my gosh, I have a lot of stuff. So really, it's a lot of things that mean a lot to me from projects that I've been a part of, and a couple of things I hope are encouragement to you. This one, this used to be in my office, in my casting office in LA. Be awesome today. So when people came in to do their live audition, hopefully this is what greeted them. And then also, that's what this one, I love this one. Can you read it? Be you, not them. So I had that in my casting office as a reminder, as you sat in a room full of people that in many cases looked like you, right? Because often you're casting like a category. And so you were in a room with people who looked a lot like you. And I had found that, and I just loved that idea of reminding you guys them. You don't need to worry about them or anybody else who's in the waiting room. Just be you, not them. You can't be them. You can be you. So that was that reminder in there. So those are my most recent additions. And yeah, so a lot of really great things I love there. Cup from Tina Gallo right there from when I did a workshop with her. So, and of course the Chosen stuff. So anyway, I'm someone who's very visually stimulated as far as like motivational words or things like, yes, John, be you, not them. I'm motivated by those things and by seeing phrases or images that evoke something positive or a good memory or an encouragement or a challenge. I visually get a lot of benefit from surrounding myself with those kinds of things. So I tend to have a fair amount of that in my surroundings and in my office. So super motivated and encouraged by those things. So pink and blue. Now I can change my colors. I can, because we have the technology. I could be now this, if you ever come on and it's set to this, then I'm like in a fiery mood, right? I'm fired up about something. Oh, anyway. Blue. Yeah, I don't know what I had it set on, but anyway. Yeah, technology these days. You got to have some fun, right? Okay, so tonight we are going to I'm a whole influencer now. That's it. I'm going to have a color mood. You guys are going to have to guess what the color mood is each week. Anyway, so we have a couple of questions that haven't gotten answered on previous weeks, and we're going to focus on those because I don't want, when people ask a question, it doesn't get answered. I don't want you guys to get frustrated, like your question is going to get lost in the mix. So Diego has a couple of questions he already pulled from previous weeks. Oh, mood rings. That's it. Okay. So my background is going to be one big mood ring light. Anyway, okay, Brody Rose. Brody Rose, you guys, if you don't know who Brody Rose is, you actually do know who Brody Rose is. Brody Rose is the young man who played the young Bart Millard in I Can Only Imagine. Played the young boy version who has the confrontation with Dennis Quaid and is abused by him, and amazing. Brody did an incredible job, but of course Brody is not that little boy anymore. He is a young man now, and incredibly talented and wonderful. So yes, Brody Rose, remember that name. But Brody asked last week, I think it was last week, is it beneficial to upload as early as possible? And I will tell you that it's not officially beneficial, meaning we watch them all, but if you think about it, and say I have 100 tapes to watch, I'm probably a little fresher at the beginning than I am at the end of those tapes. And towards the end, I do tend to get pickier because I've seen a lot more by then, right? I've seen more to compare to. I'm probably a little quicker in the decision-making process because I've gone through so many, and I probably already have a good handful of people who I think have done a good job. And so I can be a little pickier at that point if I've already collected several that I think are strong. So so for that reason, I say it probably is better. If you can, I would upload quickly. Now, sometimes when there's a deadline, we don't start watching the tapes until the deadline comes in. So in that case, it wouldn't matter. But I usually, to try to get a head start on things, I usually start watching them as they come in. So I would say it certainly doesn't hurt you. So if you're able to do it without compromising the quality of the audition, meaning I wouldn't rush it just to try to get it in early, because you think that's going to be significantly better for you. I wouldn't rush it before you're ready to do it, meaning you've given the material the time, you've done all of your work on your side of it before doing your audition, before taping your audition. But as long as you feel ready and prepared, then yes, I would turn it in earlier rather than later as far as the window of availability, because it certainly won't hurt you, and it might help in this from the standpoint of, like I said, by the end, I've probably identified several people who are kind of standouts already. I'm a little pickier. I'm a little quicker probably to make a quick summation about what I'm seeing. So, but at the end of the day, talent is talent, right? So if you're good, that will stand out regardless of whether your tape comes in the beginning or the end. But there's no downside to getting yours in early. So I'd say do that. Just don't compromise on the quality and rush it unnecessarily. But as long as you can do it with quality, you're ready, you're prepared, then yes, on the early side, I think it can be advantageous for you. So yes. Don, I see your question. What is your opinion on teleprompters, especially with a quick turnaround? It just can't look like you're using a teleprompter. That's a challenge. I know that people will tape up their lines around the screen and like around the camera so that they can still be focused on their eye line, because you're not looking into the camera. Your eye line is not into the camera when you're auditioning. It's always elsewhere. So you can plant the script somewhere where you can reference it and see it. Teleprompters are a unique skill. And so I would just be careful. If you're good at that and you can do a teleprompter seamlessly, then maybe, but I think you might be better off just to kind of have the scripts or the pages or the prompts within your eye line to where it's just a natural sight and we don't kind of you aren't worrying about the pacing of a teleprompter necessarily. So, but as long as we can't tell, then it doesn't matter what tools you use to accomplish what you need. But not everyone is great at teleprompters, and oftentimes you can tell. So, um, Emily, do you consider videos in intro emails just saying hi so that they get your vibe, something that most casting directors wouldn't watch, or does it help? I send updates every couple of months, but I do videos only for introduction emails. Oh, so you're talking about this is a video you're talking about that you make for that. Is this a video you make for that casting director and you're saying, "Hey, Beverly Holloway, I'm Emily and just wanted to say hi and connect with you," like that? Or is it just a pre-made video that you send a link to when you send an introductory email? Um, Either way, again, I don't think it hurts you. Um, they may or may not watch it. I think it would just depend on the timing. If it's something that you can do, this goes under the category of why not? It doesn't hurt you. It would never hurt you. So if you have the time and you have the availability, and let's say you send out 10 of those and 2 of them get watched, well, then that's awesome. That's better than not sending them at all, right? Because 2 people watched them and it made a difference for those 2 people. It's the on kind of another version of that is, when we make offers to talent for projects like, well-known talent, name talent on kind of a larger project, and we're going after someone who, has a good pull and a big name. Oftentimes, the director will write a letter that goes with the offer, basically saying why the director feels like that person is ideal for the role and why they would really love to have them on the project. And quite honestly, I know those letters are not always read by the talent. They don't always get there or they don't always pay attention, but I also know sometimes they do. So I still advocate doing something like that because if they read it, I believe it will help. It definitely never hurts. And if they don't read it, no, it's the 10 minutes you took to write the note. So I look at it that same way. It's not going to hurt you and it could help you as far as how many people watch it. Maybe you get 30%. That's 3 out of 10. That's good. That's 3 out of 10 who wouldn't have known you before then. So yeah, I think it's not a bad thing to do. Um, Okay, Sarah, do you pretty much always have callbacks? Oh, we talked about this last week, Diego. We covered that one last week. Charisse, is it realistic for me living internationally to actually be booked for movies in the USA due to expense and travel, etc.? Okay, so here's the way all of that works. To work on a project here in the United States, you have to have legal papers allowing you to do so. So it's not about just having a passport. You have to have a visa in order to work here. And you can't just come on a visitor's visa and then slide in some work in there. Obviously, that's not legal. And should the production company be found out or it come to light or become an issue or you got hurt, and all of it came to light that you were working illegally on a project, that would be bad for everyone. So yeah, you just don't do that. So internationally, you would have to have a visa to come work in the US, and there are very specific visas that allow you to work in the US as an actor on a project. And the criteria to qualify for that is a bit strict. It's stringent. So you might have heard the term an O1 visa. So an O1 visa is basically you're declared as a person of extraordinary talent, meaning your talent is so extraordinary that we have to bring you from another country because we need you here and what you do is so unique and so extraordinary. So um, that's the designation for you to come and be able to work as a performer, to get a performer's visa. Um, and so to do that, you have to you have to apply, you have to fill out paperwork demonstrating and providing proof as to what you've done and why your talents are extraordinary, your experience, any awards you've gotten in your home country. And then if you're trying to come over to the US to work to be in a project, then that production company is basically the sponsor. And then they're also filling out paperwork that says this is why we're hiring them. This is how long we anticipate needing them in the country. This is what the project is, that kind of thing. Now, you also can be sponsored by like a US based manager or agent. They can sponsor for you to come over. I've not been a part of that process. I just know it's been done, but I can't give you as many details about what that paperwork is or what the technical title of that kind of a visa is. But I have been a part of obtaining visas for several people who, The Chosen is a good example because we've had to get visas for several people on The Chosen. So it is not a slam dunk, and it does, especially now, post COVID, it takes a while. So you have to allow for a long time, and then it costs money. So that's kind of the big thing and like $10,000. So your average production, smaller production probably will not be able to absorb that cost to obtain a visa for an actor. Big, huge, Hollywood big budget projects, it's not as big an issue for them financially, but on a smaller, certainly like faith-based projects where the budgets tend to be more modest, that would be a difficult thing to do. So I do think it's a challenge internationally trying to come and work in the US, just because of the visa issue and how that gets paid for and the paperwork and the time. Typically you hire an immigration attorney and that costs money. So there's a lot that goes into bringing someone from another country to work on a project here in the US. So so that is a challenge if you are international. So to help you understand that process. Dale, when we audition but don't get the role, is it ever appropriate to ask, how can I improve my audition skills, etc.? It That's a tough question. It's a valid question, but it's a tough question because when we're seeing hundreds of people for a project and auditioning hundreds of people for a project, there's no possible way that we can go back and answer everyone and give them individual feedback like that. So, and oftentimes you'll just get general feedback of like, it just wasn't the right fit. And we can't necessarily tell you more specifically. It literally was, we were looking for a strawberry donut and you're a chocolate donut or a vanilla bean donut. I don't know, but it just wasn't the right fit. So there isn't always an answer to give you that you can say A, B, C, I'll do those things differently and the outcome will be different. So, and just from a time and resource standpoint, we just can't provide that kind of feedback on everybody who comes through. You can certainly ask, but if you ask, you need to ask understanding you may not be answered. So I would never fault anyone for asking, but if I just don't have time, because that takes going back and look, if you consider, okay, we've looked at a couple hundred auditions and I may remember you email me and you say, do you have any pointers on what I could do to improve? Well, I'm not likely to have your specific audition right in the forefront of my brain. So it would take me going back, finding your audition, rewatching it to get notes. That's why it isn't a that's why it isn't really possible, because um we just don't have the time to go back and do that on everyone. So you could ask. It could be that I remember it clearly and off the top of my head, and I could fire off something, an email, but I wouldn't count on getting that feedback. I really wouldn't plan on getting that feedback. And if you're working through an agent, that's something your agent can ask. Again, I oftentimes my feedback to the agent is as simple as it just wasn't the right fit. Nothing specific, just wasn't the right fit. Or today I actually wrote to an agent who was asking about their client. And I just said, it's an essence thing. They just aren't the right essence. They're very talented. The actor that they were pitching for this movie is very talented, done a lot of work, but he's not the right essence. And so there's nothing for him to do differently. It's just not the right fit. So, yeah, I don't think asking the question is bad, as long as you're asking it understanding you may not get an answer and being okay with that, not letting that frustrate you. If you have an agent, you can ask through the agent, ask the agent to email and maybe, try to get a response. Okay. Mia, do CDs cast purely off of actor talent or also based on the relationship with their talent agent? If so, what is considered a great agent from a CD's eyes? It's both. I The thing about a relationship with an agent is you build a trust for them. If they have good clients that you consistently hire and who consistently turn in great performances, and who you can count on, then you begin to trust that agent's level of taste and their level of discernment about the actors that they choose to represent. So if I'm short on time, or if I really quickly have to regroup or recast something or shift, or I only have a few spots, then yes, having an agent who I really trust their taste level, and I trust that they always have really good clients who do really good work, then yeah, I may shortcut and go to them first, or at least look at their talent initially, if I'm on a time crunch, or if I only have a few spots where I have to really know that whoever I put in those audition spots um, are are going to nail it and are going to really bring what I need. So that's what having a great agent does. It allows me to know that they've already vetted their actors, and if I trust their taste level and I trust their vetting process, and they've proven to have really good quality actors that they're representing, then I find that really helpful. So really, it's about that. And agents that know how to rep their actors, agents who are persistent but not obnoxious, um, agents who actually look at my projects and aren't just like throwing spaghetti against the wall and spamming me with every one of their clients, even though there's clients that are clearly not right for what I'm asking for. Um, so, agents that take the time to know what the project is, get to know me a little bit so they understand the kinds of projects I typically do. Um, and uh yeah, and then when I deal with agents and I'm making deals and we're negotiating deals, agents that are good to negotiate with, who are honest and fair and straightforward and work hard for their clients but are also reasonable. Those are all great elements of a really good agent. So um let's see. I see you guys have all kinds of notes going on that I haven't been watching. but hopefully it looks like maybe you're answering each other's questions a little bit. So that's always fun. Okay. Did we have any other questions, Diego? I'm not sure if we did. If not, let me look really quick. Let's see. Yeah, Laura May is on here talking about Christian casting community, great community of people. Yeah, Laura May's doing some online classes, and I saw she's doing a monologue Monday. So we all know we all love a good monologue in here, right? And we haven't been able to do it in a while, so we'll definitely want to get back to that. But we are in Charlotte at the Creative Exchange, so excited about that. Just I love playing with that and kind of just seeing the change in performance, and oh man, it's just so much fun. Okay, so let's see. Do I have any Ivy? Should we prepare an intro before we do our monologue on Saturday? No. No, we're just gonna have you, yeah, we'll just have you do a basic slate. We'll give you those details, but no, we don't need a big intro. We'll jump right into the work, basically. Ruby, how can we find a Christian agency? I don't think you're th- this is something that I would say I don't know that you want to look for a Christian agency. What I think you want to find is someone who either is a person of faith themselves, so they understand the Christian film world or the faith-based projects, someone who is connected on that level, um, and who is mindful of the projects that are happening within that community, and who also understands um, your boundaries as a person of faith. And again, each person's boundaries and specifics are different, as they should be. That's something between you and your walk, you and the Lord, and you and your walk. Um, Things like, yes, I will kiss on screen. No, I won't kiss on screen, that kind of a thing. Those are boundaries that each of you has to set for yourself. But you want an agent who understands whatever the boundaries are that you've set for yourself. They understand that and support that. And then you also, if you want to work in the faith-based space, then you need an agent who understands that space and embraces the projects. But I don't know that there is like not really a quote unquote Christian agency per se. But there are people who are people of faith within the industry who are agents, and run their businesses, with that same set of values and morals. So yeah, but you just have to do your research. That's where I say you need to get on IMDb Pro and look at the actors that you admire their work and who are their reps, and, look at those actors that are doing the projects that you would love to be a part of, and research who's repping them, and then look at those agencies. And um, there is no, like, there's no place you go, there's no website you go to find a Christian agent or a Christian agency per se. And honestly, the agencies can't necessarily make a living just off of faith-based films. So most agencies are going to be doing projects that are faith-based and non-faith-based. Now, they may choose to stay away from projects that are obviously a little bit more outside of the boundaries of someone with faith. But there again, each person has their own set of boundaries as to what they will and they won't do. So agents will tailor their work for their clients based on each client individually. And so financially, it there really just isn't enough in the faith-based genre at a budget level that keeps it y- that keeps enough income coming. So it's going to be faith-based and non-faith-based. It's just a matter of you making decisions as to what your boundaries are, what you will and won't do, and making that clear, and then working with someone who understands that and will support that. So, um, Jared, what would you say in regard to the challenge of finances being tight for taking classes? I get it, totally get it. Um, I think there are a lot of things a lot of resources that are out there that are totally free. Um, and instruction and things like this that we do Tuesday night. I know Laura May is working to make her cloud her um to make her classes affordable, very affordable. And so I get it when things are tight. I would look for those opportunities, people who are doing lives like this, who are doing interviews, podcasts, um, from some people, your favorite actors or directors or writers. Um, there's a lot of resources. I know David White um, does a podcast. Andrew Irwin just started a podcast called Storytellers. He's interviewing all kinds of people. David White's interviewed a lot of people that he's worked with. Those are all podcasts that you can really learn a lot from. Now, granted, it's not taking classes, but it is ways that you're still learning and gleaning from people whose work you may admire or who are doing great work, and you can glean something from at no cost to you. So I would look for as many of those opportunities as you can, and then when you can save up, when you can, then just kind of save up for that class you really, really want to take. Um, and some teachers will, Diego brings up a good point. Many workshops that will allow you to volunteer for free or discounted access. This industry requires investment, financial and time. And that is true. There are some teachers who, if you'll come early and you'll set up the chairs, you'll run the camera, you'll do the sign-in table, you'll be the lunch runner, whatever, uh, then sometimes you can get the class for a discounted rate, or even sometimes for free. So that goes back to that service mentality, right? Um, if you have a mindset of service, how can I come in and serve you? How can I help you? Then the benefit could be on the flip side that you're able to access that material or that experience or that class at a discounted rate, because you're willing to serve and put in the time. So those are all different options. If there's someone whose class you want to go to, I would contact them and see if that's ever an option, or scholarships or sponsorships. I don't know, do a GoFundMe. If you have a lot of people who are supportive of your effort to pursue this work, this business, do a GoFundMe and see if they'll help you pay for a class you really want to take. Get creative. Get creative. God, if this is the journey God has for you, then he will provide. It may look differently than you anticipated, and it may be it may be unconventional, but there will be provision. So yeah. Don says some will let you set in on one class for free to audit. That's true. That's very true. Um Let's see. I'm gonna look at one more, and then tonight I gotta head out. But I saw, I think someone who Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn said she just listened. Yeah, just listened to Andy Irwin's podcast, and it's so good. Yes, yes, yes. So Andy Irwin from Kingdom Story. So I can only imagine. I still believe. Jesus Revolution, all those movies. Andy Irwin is doing a podcast now. It's called Storytellers. You can probably find out more information about it on their website or their Facebook page, Kingdom Story Company or Andy Irwin. I highly recommend that. David White has one as well. Ryan O'Quinn, I think, has one. So there's several out there, several ways that you can still keep challenging yourself, getting good information, learning from others, that isn't necessarily a formal class. And then when you have classes you want to take, like I said, GoFundMe or be of service in hopes of, getting it reduced, whatever it takes to make that work. Um, okay. Tommy, your physical recording space may not allow for pulling out into a full body shot. If you're taping um, at home, probably not. The important part is to supply the full body shot if it's asked for. Generally, you don't want the camera tilted down and back up, but your mileage may vary. So, Tommy, yeah, when we ask for a full body shot, some people edit in a static shot. So if they're editing their videos, they just edit in a photo, a full body shot photo, still photo, and then go back to the audition. Sometimes they'll just pull back, stop tape, pull back, whatever you need to do. The up down isn't necessarily as helpful just because it's a weird perspective. But if you just need to like step back far enough, as far as you can go, if it isn't exactly head to toe, that's probably not the worst thing in the world. So just make an effort to do the best you can. So yeah, Laura May, Jared Hernandez, their monologue Mondays are just $1 a week. So you pay $1 to participate in their monologue Mondays. So check that out. Christian Casting, they have a Facebook page, and you can find out Christian Casting Community. You can find out more information about that. So yeah, she's providing opportunities for a lot less money and keeping the opportunities and resources available. Thank you, Laura May, for that, by the way. Dawn, wondering your opinion. I'm doing background work to make up for slow bookings. My agent strongly discouraged me from doing background because she said it would make them only see me as a background actor and not consider me for speaking role auditions. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know that there's a downside to it. Obviously, you're not going to put a lot of background work on your resume because that doesn't necessarily strengthen your resume. But as far as like if you're doing a bunch of background work on a show, I'm not necessarily going to know. It's not going to prevent me, but it's keeping you sharp. And I think you're much better to have income coming in from doing background work than from going and working at like Chick-fil-A, because at least you're on set. You're on set, you're in the environment, you're with other actors, you never know what information you'll pick up. I think you're learning a lot. And so I think it's great that you're in that environment. So I don't necessarily agree. Now, your agent may be saying on that particular show, the first AD who's working with the background may start to, or second AD who's working with the background may think, oh, you're a background player, you're not a speaking role. But I just don't think that's the case. They want to work with good people. So if you're someone who's sharp and on time and give them what they need and you're able to take their direction when they give it, that's not going to be a downside. That's how people get upgraded at times. So I don't see it as a downside. That's my opinion. So, okay, you guys, I am going to hop off. I have lots to do before I head out to Charlotte tomorrow. So, yeah, agree with the background stance. Absolutely. If you can make an income doing something that's still industry related, it's a plus. That's always a plus. There was early in my casting career, when didn't I didn't have enough jobs, to where I was consistently casting. In between, I worked for a production studio and I learned audio editing and video editing. Well, that served me really well. At least I was in the creative environment. I was learning the technical side of the process. I learned so much that continues to help me today. So, yeah, absolutely. I learned so much more being in that environment versus if I had just gone and like gotten a retail job. And sometimes, you get those you do all of that. I'm not putting down anybody's way of working or how you're making your living, how you're earning your income, taking care of paying the bills. All of it is good. God provides us jobs and income in all kinds of ways. But if you have the option to do something that keeps you in the industry and is industry related, then I think that's always a plus. So, okay, you guys are awesome. Hi, Rebecca. You guys are awesome. Love you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday, and I'm sure we'll have a few stories to tell from the weekend. I'll try to remember a few classic Diego stories because I'm sure there will be some. And hope you guys have a great week. And for those of you we're going to see on Friday and Saturday, woohoo! Can't wait to see you and to meet some of you. And for those of you who can't make it, excited to see you on Tuesday and to just keep doing that thing we do. So, love you guys. Have a great week. Stay safe. Bye.
Okay, let's go.